Baby girl, listen, you're all that I see and I've got for ya. I'm a child of the kingdom, I love you like you're my God for ya.
Listen, ala umfweni baby, love yandiyama sure defyama maybe. Freshness kweno kumibunka deti, chupo chisu chena ala tepa tali baby. Mwale ngire ne walele mbuke mfuke, ine aute team fuke mpaka fie baba fya shine.
Hello and welcome to the Love Sunday show, which is also the Love Sunday podcast by your very own favorite hosts, Pastor Daniel Kaira and
Pastor Mavis Kaira.
Yes, the amazing Lady Mavis. We thought that it's about time that we began to bring you particular wisdom of some things that God has placed on our hearts surrounding relationships, marriage, dating, vama love, so that we could see God blessing us together.
Amen.
And so on this particular series that we are bringing you, we have what we are calling the Love Sunday show and the Love Sunday podcast. On the Love Sunday show, we've got a number of segments. The first segment is called the Dear Son, Dear Daughter letters. On the second segment, we have what we are calling the Utunensu segment. And on the final one, we have what we are calling the, guess what? The Yakama moment. All these are amazing segments that are lined up just so that we could be a blessing to you. You're going to find the Love Sunday show on YouTube. There's a channel called the Love Sunday show dedicated solely to this show.
Yes.
However, the Love Sunday podcast is the extended version of the Dear Son, Dear Daughter quote. So when you go to the podcast, the details will be availed to you shortly. You are going to find an extended discussion of the Dear Son, Dear Daughter letter.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Yeah. All right, so without taking much time, we're just going to go ahead and dive right into the show, okay? So what's going to happen is that Pastor is going to pick a particular letter. I'm going to read it out, and then we're going to discuss it.
Exactly.
Please go ahead, Pastor.
I hope I picked that. There are some topics which are exciting to discuss.
I know.
I hope
Yes.
I picked that one.
Yes.
I hope I
Fingers
picked that.
crossed.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
All right, let's see what we have here.
Was I supposed
Okay.
to be was I supposed
Wow.
to be closing my eyes? Okay.
We have number 12, okay?
Okay.
We have number 12 here. Let's see what number 12 says. All right. So, okay. Number 12 says, Dear son and daughter, a relationship needs two people who have matured to the extent of agreeing with the fact that each of them is getting into it with the mentality that I am here for the benefit of my partner and I am willing to adjust to accommodate as opposed to insisting that the other person must change to suit me. Interesting. Everything becomes about how you can advantage the other person and not so much what you can get from it. Our man of God is so wise.
Do we need to discuss that one?
Please,
Okay.
we would really like to
All
hear
right.
your
So
thoughts.
one of the first things that you notice in that session, in this letter, is maturity.
Yes.
One of the things that maturity does for you is that it makes you begin to consider other people.
Wow.
For example, it takes maturity to be a parent.
Yes.
And in being a parent, you know that I would use this money maybe to go out and sleep at a nice lodge somewhere. But you decide that I'm going to pay this towards rentals, or I'm going to use this to buy food, or use this to take my child to school. You are setting your own needs aside for the benefit of another person.
Wow.
And that is also a kind of maturity which is required in relationships. When you're getting into a relationship, there has to be a serious thought given to how you intend to benefit the other person. Not just how you're going to look on Instagram with your pictures on Facebook and things like that. But when I enter this person's life, how am I going to benefit them?
Wow.
Maybe you can talk about the latter part, which talks about how that you shouldn't just insist that the person must fit into your
Wow.
estimation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pastor. Okay, so even when we look at scriptures like 1 Corinthians 13, which paints a beautiful canvas of what love actually is, the Bible actually says love does not insist on its own way. So that shows you a picture to say you must constantly put the needs of the other person above your own. In today's generation, we see so many relationships begin simply because of what I can get out of it. I always say this all the time, that many people, they're in that relationship not because they love each other or because they want to spend the rest of their lives together, but it's because there's something that you feed me that I want to continue getting. And even for you, there's something exactly. So you find for the lady, she loves the fact that there's this man who, you know, can text her good morning, can tell her he loves her, can tell her you're so beautiful and all those things. And for the man, exactly, you know, the very fact that, oh, there's somebody out there who tells me they love me and this and that, that's the only reason that's keeping you in that relationship. So it's only what you can get from it. And for the man, he only loves the fact that there's this girl who worships the ground that he walks on. You know, there's this girl who, you know, is there to call him the king and the this that he is, the young king. You know, and all those things. And so they are backboneless and purposeful-less relationships out there.
They are based on self.
Exactly, with selfish intent. And so what ends up happening also is that there's a lot of frustration and a lot of suffocation where if your partner fails to meet that particular need, easy ground for breakups, you know. So this is how now many people find themselves with a long line of exes, simply because the moment that you stopped, you know, feeding me that thing that I wanted, then I'm done with you and I'll move on to the next person who will give me that. So this is how you find maybe two people in a relationship. So once the guy, you know, sort of like stops giving this girl a certain amount of attention, stops texting her good mornings or good nights, stops calling her, giving her that money, stops, you know, all that stuff that she likes. And then there's another John Chimfwembe who's, you know, her workmate or in her class, who's now giving her those things. She will easily move on from her boyfriend or her fiance or whoever, the person that she's actually supposed to, you know, be in that relationship with, and she'll easily switch to the other person who's now feeding her, you know, feeding her emotions in such a manner. So it's a very selfless mentality, a very selfish mentality to have if you're constantly thinking of what you can get. It will make you give up when you don't get what you want and move on to the next best thing. And this is how you'll find yourself within 2 years. You've spoken to 10 guys. How? You've gotten attached to 10 guys simply because this one gave you attention. Then the moment they stopped, you moved on to the next person who gave you attention. So what you wrote here, man of God. What
you are looking for was, there's a song we used to sing back in the day.
Yeah.
Love is never love until you give it away. You know, there's and it says God gave us Jesus just to show us what love is all about. And so I think also this goes to the next part, which is basically not insisting that a person should change so that they fit you. You know, sometimes people have a picture of the kind of man that they want to date. They have a picture of a kind of woman that they want to date. But then we say that there's a difference between the body of a girl and the girl of the body.
Wow, yeah.
So you find that there's the idea of the girl that you had in mind, or the idea of the guy that you had in mind. Then when you find that this is not a man of God, what you wanted is a man of God, what you wanted is a woman of God, but God did not make that particular person a minister of the gospel. So now you start insisting that they should pray a certain way, they should preach a certain way. But that's not how God made them to be. So one of the things in love, in order that you don't insist on your own way, is to let people be who God called them to be. To learn the kind of a person they are and to support them.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
I think that has been enough from us for the time being. Let's go right next to the let's go to the next segment, which is the Utunenso segment. See you next week.
Hi everyone, I'm Pastor Wendy.
And I'm Gabriel.
and we're the summer guys.
Alright, how did you guys meet?
It was at church.
Yeah, we met at church. We wrote that.
Who found who at church?
I found her at church because I joined the church later than her. I've been seeing her on social media, not like stalking her or anything. I would see her tagged in posts and whatnot. And yeah, we saw her, we became friends, and yeah, the rest is history.
Pastor Ma, what was your first impression of him when you saw him?
When I saw him, he was actually late for church that day. I was serving outside. And then I saw him and literally everything froze for me. It's a very spiritual thing. I can't explain it, but it was a spiritual experience for me. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's the most handsome guy I have ever seen in my life. He came with a friend, and the friend just entered. But he said hi to everyone who was at the door. So I was impressed because I was like, oh, he's polite. Yeah.
Such a gentleman.
He's such a gentleman, exactly.
Because what was your first impression of her?
So it's not like I also noticed her that actual day. I got to meet her properly. I think maybe 2 Sundays later. We had a chat and she was very shy. And something within me was like, she's the one. She was the one. Very pretty, beautiful, smart. And the conversations we had just hit me somewhere where no one has ever hit. And I was like, she's the one. She's the one. Here we are today.
2 kids later.
2 kids later.
Were you doing something in particular before you met? Were you praying for like a man, or you just met?
Oh my goodness. At the time we had met, I was not praying for your husband, but you know, when I just got saved, I used to pray for my husband, and I always used to say, Lord, when I meet my husband, I want angelic activity. So when I met him, that's exactly what happened. I saw him and I knew.
Did you ever think or perceive that you'd be marrying a pastor?
No, not a single time. But what she is today is everything I've ever wanted. Like, I'm married to a pastor.
He is.
Who said I love you first?
I did.
That was like after how many dates?
How many dates?
Okay.
How many? I think you said after 2 months?
2 months.
In June?
Yeah. Because we started talking in May
Yes,
of
in May.
2018. Yeah. So I said it first.
What lessons have you learned at church concerning love that helped you date correctly, as Christians, and that was, of course, eventually led to marriage?
So many.
So many of them. The way, I don't know if I should say our pastor's ministry or how he preaches, but most of the time he'll always talk about love, he'll talk about relationships. So there's no escaping the lessons concerning how to date, right, as a Christian. So for us, I think it's been a blessing to be in such a church, because every now and then he'll talk about what and what not to do, like how you're supposed to treat one another in a relationship, what you can do, what you cannot do, and all those kind of things. Like, it's something we learn every day.
Just to add on, there's one particular Love Sunday, Siwela Ho, I believe, 2020. pastor taught on the agape love of God. He taught on different types of love. He talked about romantic love and how it came about and all those things. And then he spoke about the agape love of God. That's the unconditional love of God, and how we should treat other people and how we are supposed to love other people. You don't love people because you love people in spite of, and that's what we use most definitely in our relationship. That helped us a lot because we love each other unconditionally. Yes.
You talked about Love Sunday. For people that are watching and hearing about Love Sunday for the first time, what is Love Sunday?
Love Sunday for me is the most epic event of the year. This is a must go to conference. It's for single people on bands. If you don't know what a band is, come to Love Sunday. Married people, it doesn't matter how long you've been married for, because there's lessons to pick for everyone. It doesn't matter where you're at in life. If you're single, on a band, if you're married or about to get married, yes, Love Sunday is for everyone. And trust me, you would not want to miss it. It's the most happening event of the year.
Who's starting first?
Me.
Okay. F.
Correct. No. No. Is it characters? Or you were no?
Open that. Open that because
we established.
Nizokamba funa Apostle Fred.
Apostle Fred.
Need a lot.
I just say you only get to do this today. You'll enjoy.
Yeah, you feel like she'll feel messy for you.
Thank you for being gentle, baby.
Should warn her I'm the head of the house.
Okay. X.
Success.
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Pastor. It sounds bad. You are cool, but you are fail.
Okay. Okay.
King Nani huyo.
Is that correct?
No.
King Nani. Bible King Nani.
The hair.
I'm not ready mentally.
Okay, let's go to
Okay.
Honestly, you want the one at the zone or thing.
I understand my thoughts.
This is not fair.
I know.
Okay.
L.
Let me know.
Baby.
This is a dream. It would be great to become that king.
No, don't worry. Okay.
In the hair.
No, you haven't put.
In the hair.
Oh.
No.
Borrow
He answered. So it's fine.
Oh.
It was correct.
Oh, he doesn't get to put her.
So now,
Job, that's punishment.
okay, let's go for the next.
Okay, wait, let me prepare myself mentally.
How?
Jesus. Okay, wait, baby. Wait, let me fix my eyes on Jesus.
No, fix your eyes on the Bible.
You.
Uriah.
No.
She got.
I got it.
Oh. Yes.
Samuel.
So,
You already did say.
But you can't say.
I don't know. Okay, just ask my husband, he should fail.
What?
Okay.
No, ask
Ask him, he doesn't know. Why is he refusing?
No, just ask me my question. What's your question?
Yeah, his question is also.
no.
That was
Not fair. You're making
You're
things up.
picking sides,
No.
Daddy.
No, I'm not picking any sides.
Okay, stop. Ask me.
Around make about the much.
That's why you get to pout.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's who are we asking? We're asking me. Okay. C.
Cain.
The last one now goes to her.
A.
Oh, yeah.
Anna.
What?
Ananias.
You're not sure. Okay, which Anna are you talking about?
Ananias. Just short for Ananias.
No. They were pushing game. Now feel boy.
That's it.
But she was correct. There's Anna the prophetess who prophesied Jesus.
you.
But you are no.
No.
You are not sure.
You are not sure.
Daddy,
You are a
actually
woman
said,
of God.
Daddy. Actually said
Anna.
Anna, and then you started making. That's
No,
why
we
the
asked
Lord
that.
says that.
Which
See,
Anna?
people around you.
Which Anna?
It be your people.
Okay, which Anna? Explain.
Anna, the one who prophesied about Jesus. She didn't die
That's what.
until.
No, she died.
Yeah, she died later, Daddy.
No.
Everybody dies later.
You just didn't know. Woman of God, it's okay. Much thicker. I didn't notice you are that.
For the sake
pretty,
of
my
love,
God.
just put it on.
No.
Okay.
No. You should just say.
It's over.
What? That's not fairness.
No.
That's not fairness.
That's violence.
Now I know.
Okay, ask him one question.
Bring it on.
Okay, Pastor Wandy, invite people to Love Sunday.
Come to Love Sunday, 6th May, Sunset Stadium, opposite NASDAQ. Next to
You
NASDAQ.
can't get it right.
The powder is confusing me.
I know.
Come for Love Sunday, 6th May, Sunset Stadium, next to NASDAQ, from 9 hours to 16 hours. See you there.
That's very welcome.
You like a girl, she's a 10. You've been in the talking stage and you're sure she likes you. You fall in love with her, and after being tired of the talking stage, you shoot your shot. You ask, "What are we?" She says, we are two Zambians.
I'd probably stop talking to him. I mean, he's not serious, of course. So I'll just move on with my life. Probably be a little bit heartbroken, but yeah, I'll just move on.
if he made his intentions known, he wouldn't be in that situation, because even though they were in a talking stage, it could be just anything. Maybe she thought he was just being nice. So I think my friend should always put his best foot forward and say, okay, we're talking like this. I want to give you a heads up that these are my intentions. He shouldn't put her in that place. Yeah.
One, she has wasted my time. By that time, I could have been talking to other girls who are so interested, really want to be with me.
For him to get to the other level meant that he wanted something bigger and better to come out of it. So I wouldn't really take that for an answer. Actually, I think I would be very agitated, and I would really want to confront him and find out as to why he decided to waste my time.
Automatically that becomes a shock to me. You are expecting, you've been together, you've shared, then somebody comes in to say we're just two Zambians, meaning that's a dead end to me.
I've stopped talking to him and cut him off. I mean, when someone's serious about you, then they're going to make their intentions known. But if they're going to be enjoying the benefits of a relationship but not wanting to be in one, then I might as well cut the person off and focus on myself and God, of course.
That's hard. No, because in the first place, I think that girl would need deliverance. Because after wasting my time, it's wild. But yeah, you'll be giving the girl signs. I'm sure she will even know that this guy is interested in me. And for her to say such a thing, then she's not serious. She can't be a wife.
The fact that we've been talking frequently, meaning there is something, and probably I would be thinking as if I'm just waiting for the right moment, or maybe he's waiting for the right moment for him to propose so that I say yes. Then how can he just go quiet? I'd be so hurt. And I think what I can do is to try to forget about it and just move on.
Based on the fact that there was a commitment to communication that was done, but then at some point there was a derailment. My response to that would be having a sit down and having a conversation regarding that aspect. But Pastor always says, the glory does not move in reverse. If and when the response is otherwise, we move ahead.
What would I do? Obviously, because I like this person, right? So I've invested emotions, because I'm female. So I've definitely invested some emotion to it. So I would be really, really touched. I would be really, really touched. But one thing my pastor has taught us is that someone who really is for you should never be afraid to state what stage you're at. They should be full on. You should know. Like, in the first place, I should have known that, okay, this person is for me in this way and we're going to be this. But for me to even ask him already, that means that I was not really in his category to be, a girlfriend or even something more. So I think for me, I would save myself the heartache of even actually being in a relationship with him, and maybe eventually again he'll just keep on. Again, when getting married again, he'll keep on. So I would save myself that heartache, because already that's a red flag. And yeah, I would stand my ground and choose better for me.